Oh, no, sorry. Dave is on the play. Both players kept 7. Polluted Delta, Ponder. And we're off. Basic Island found by Kaplan. What is Teferi so mad about? Sava says, "What did Dave play in Legacy at Eternal Weekend?" I believe Dave Kaplan played this Dimir Delver deck, and Matthew also played an Eternal Weekend playing Esper Vial. So these decks are both posted in our Discord server, and probably on the Eternal Weekend page as well. He didn't? What did Dave play in Legacy? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So Dave Kaplan top aided the vintage champs and did not play Legacy. My mistake. Dave Kaplan did not play Legacy at Eternal Weekend. He played vintage and top aided. I forgot. All right. So Marsh Flats comes in, pass the turn. I believe Dave planned to play Legacy, but after top aiding vintage, decided to skip Legacy at Eternal Weekend. It's a brainstorm resolving here.
Do you want to play against me on pink? On pink. Okay.
I want to see what happens. I will tap 3 for a good. Tap 4. I want to see what happens.
That is a basic Plains. Very nice one from Bloomburrow. The Bloomburrow lands underrated. These lands look exceptional. Looks like Dave's not making land drops. Yeah, we're going to discard. A fetch for Matthew before cleanup. Bilal just converted a prime sub to a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the love today. Wet Possum says Bloomburrow was a really fun set. I think Bloomburrow was terrific. Big fan of Bloomburrow. I hope we go back to that playing, the whole thing. I really like Bloomburrow. And I didn't even play the limited. I heard the limited was great, but I just, opening up a few packs here and there, sifting through it. I'm just such a fan of Bloomburrow. I think it was great. All right, a Fatal Push was discarded. We'll see if Dave regrets that later. This Esper Vial deck is pretty creature heavy. No creatures have been deployed yet, though.
And step, I'm going to try to flash in Philly.
Okay, flashing in Felia, Exuberant Shepherd on end step. Dave's going to have a read. I'll get the text up on the screen. Sounds like people are laughing in the background, right? Sinorna says, I hope we stop going to planes of hats. I'm not sure what Sinorna is talking about.
Sure.
I just want to
all right. None of you guys have trample. I have cameras, right?
Yeah, well,
except for him. So he's
Shoot the Sheriff just discarded. Ouch. Wasteland and Impending Overlord of the Belmerk. This card is awesome.
still going on.
unless I draw something.
Oh my god, he is a combo.
The combo? Oh, right. Sure. Sacrifice the creature.
It's just been impended on all of us. It's number 1, says Legacy players don't play with cards outside the 90s. Yes. And Toller Eric says, can't believe Dave could top 8 vintage but doesn't know what Felia does. Yeah, this is a thing you'll see with Legacy players. They have no idea what's going on at all. So Felia attacks. Felia attacks. It will now blink Overlord, with which Dave has to read again. And, yeah, this is bad news for Dave.
Deal 2?
Yeah, the first mill from Overlord did not find any creatures, I believe. Great point by Firecracken. Unlikely we'll see the second one not. So now Overlord of the Belmark will mill again. Skyclave Apparition found this time. It will get returned. And now it's a 5/5 creature. It's no longer impending on anybody. Harry Houdini has arrived asking, am I late? What a great time at EW. What's up, Harry Houdini? Dave Kaplan scoops game one. Matthew up a game. Felia and Overlord of the Belmark. A pretty nice combo. A value engine of sorts. That was going to be really hard for Dave to beat, even with land drops, I think. So Urion revealed again. Dave will be on the play for game two.
Land issues, even it out.
Harry Houdini says, met so many great people at EW. This community rocks. Glad to hear. Who met Harry Houdini, though? That's what I want to know. I don't care who Harry Houdini met. I care who managed to meet Harry Houdini. That's more exciting to me. Thoughtseize happening here. The hand is revealed. Vial, Fair Macabre, Gilded Drake, Teferi Time Raveler, Lorien revealed, Polluted Delta, and Marsh Flats. Gilded Drake, an interesting one.
We're playing regular commander.
You have to tap yeah, you would have to tap something else. Yeah, that should stop it.
Everyone this dies. Okay.
Harry Houdini says, I had a few people recognize my name from here. It was pretty cool. Very awesome. Very awesome. All right, Aether Vial is discarded with the Thoughtseize. Good start to game two for Dave, I would say. Marsh Flats pass. Harry Houdini has gifted a sub. 136 now on the channel for Harry Houdini. Number 4 on our all-time gifter leaderboard. And 90s MTG viewers very familiar now with Harry Houdini MTG. One of our pillars, keeping this thing alive. We're helping. By the way, I don't want to forget to mention, since we're talking about people gifting memberships and stuff, a bunch of you have signed up for our Patreon or hit join on our YouTube channel after I mentioned last week. We had a discussion on one of our last live streams about getting 90s MTG over to large events to do coverage and whatnot, and it really comes down to more memberships. That's just the reality. For this channel anyway. So thank you, everybody that signed up. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Some of you sign up when we're not live, and I don't get to thank you. Thank you to all of you. Delver of Secrets has hit the board. Very interesting. Marsh Flats gets correct.
Understanding
Surveil. The Chandlertron says sat down across someone wearing 90s MTG sweater, was very jealous. Yeah, you know, those sweaters are comfy. That's awesome, though. There was some chat with some of my friends that came back from Eternal Weekend. Yeah, we saw 90s MTG hoodies and T-shirts at Eternal Weekend. I have not seen a single picture of anybody wearing one. So if you have a picture of somebody wearing 90s MTG gear at Eternal Weekend, or anywhere really, please post it in our Discord. Send it to me in a letter, something. I would like to see it, and I'll share it. So, Polluted Delta getting correct here.
Yeah, I'm sort of...
Undercity Sewers, Surveil. See if this Delver flips. Dom V says I was wearing a 90s MTG jock strap while playing. I'll send the pics over. Dom V is out of control.
Nope.
You top 8 Eternal Weekend one time and just completely out of control.
Alright, I'll take a play.
Don't let it get to your head, Dom. Delver does not flip.
It feels bad.
How many cards? 6.
6 cards in Matthew's hand. Delver looking sad and kind of pathetic on the board right now. Attacks for 1.
Yeah. Last time. Yeah. 1 land hand. Yeah.
Signorna says I talked to Force of Phil and Zach a bunch. Yep.
Give me 1 second. Look at the text messages real quickly first. Attachment 6 inches. I don't know what that is. I'll worry about it. Oh, did I get somebody back to the gym? Oh, Gargoch was there for, yeah. Gargoch was in that gym for like 20 days.
I had that happen recently, but I was in Colorado.
Yeah.
And step off it.
Someplace.
All right, Dave just passes the turn. End step fetching with Flooded Strand. Maybe we're going to Surveil again. Or maybe we're going to see Felia. All right, Meticulous Archive. Surveil.
We were heading to, so we did a 2-week trip to New Zealand back in October.
What should be the sound effect for Surveil? What should that sound like?
Which is where the mountain that is Mountain Dew.
There was that arena sound effect for Surveil. I don't know if they still use it. I remember it from Thought Erasure. It was like, I don't know. I don't even know what that sound was. Describe sound. How does it make you feel? Harry Houdini says, is that a Delver? I thought they were extinct. Yeah, they basically are extinct, but I don't know. Left the card on top. That's interesting. Polluted Delta gets played.
Yes, with the pen.
Impending Overlord of the Belmark. We're going to read it again. Enchantment creature from Duskmorn with Impending. We'll get the text up on the screen.
I got one of those. Tap 2.
Yeah, it was like a Dimir fog sound, but it sounds like Arena doesn't have that anymore.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
The ETB of Overlord now happening. Witch Enchanter and Felia Exuberant Shepherd were milled. Most likely Felia will get chosen here. Yeah, Witch Enchanter not super relevant right now. So Felia is in hand. We saw how powerful Felia and Overlord are together in Game 1. Dave's going to read Felia one more time. Felia able to blink the impending Overlord and just speed up the whole thing, turning it into a 5/5 creature, and then you get its ETB and attack triggers from that point forward rather than having to wait for impending to run out.
Same creature from last time.
Very nice foil Felia as well. Bling. This Delver needs to hurry up and flip, that's for sure.
Pass to you and step trigger.
On your end step.
Okay, end step. The trigger for Overlord of the Belmark is on the stack. Dave thinking about making a play. Orcish Bowmaster. Okay, that'll deal a damage to Matthew. BR Chato, thank you for the sub with Prime. 12 months and a new badge. You did it. 1-year badge. Really appreciate it. Whenever people hit a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, I mean, some of people in the chat have up to 4 or 5 years of bad, 4 years in the chat. It hits me every time. Thank you for all the support, everybody. Brainstorm. On end step, it looks like.
Tap a mana and then I should run it here. That was a good game. Oh yeah, you were supposed to go off there. Yes.
See your graveyard.
Just because.
Trigger. What's your response to trigger?
Yeah. I'm gonna say also historical discard. That is sick of block.
Trying to figure out this brainstorm. Aware of Felia in hand. Aware of, obviously, the Overlord of the Bellmark on the board. Trying to figure out how to beat it. Delver trigger. Reanimate on top. Ooh, that's interesting. Reanimate could reanimate Witch Enchanter and try to kill Overlord.
This is not a creature until there's 0 counters on it. No, it's just an enchant. You can kill the Witch Enchanter if that's what you're.
Okay, reanimate targeting Witch Enchanter is on the stack. Gonna try and blow up the Overlord of the Bellmark before it gets out of hand. Yeah, Don V pointing out Matt does have a Fairy Macabre in hand right now. That's a great point. I forgot about that. We saw that like 2 hours ago. So Witch Enchanter is in. Dave has 5 power on the board.
4 damage, I'm gonna try to flash in
Solitude, pitching to Fairy.
Sure. Exile,
Okay, Insect Elaboration is removed. Dave will gain 3 life. And it looks like Bowmaster and Orc Army will get through for 2 damage. Dave's taking a look at the graveyard. Polluted Delta. Witch Enchanter, I believe, is a 2/2. It's a Warlock, so it's an outlaw.
We can put it in on reserve.
I'm just saying random stuff. All right, Psychic Frog. It's the frog, everybody. Oh, boy.
Cycle word reveal.
Island Cycle of Lorien revealed happening. Witch Enchanter, another card from Modern Horizons. I really like. I think the modal double face cards have been great for Magic. With land on one side, reducing the number of non-games just a little bit. And Witch Enchanter with a cool effect. Great addition to Legacy Taxes decks and Vial decks. You find it with Recruiter of the Guard. Really neat. All right. Passing back to Matthew, who has no creatures on the table. Gonna have to beat a Frog, a Bowmaster, and his own Witch Enchanter now. Gilded Drake. Oh boy. So we're gonna switch sides. Gilded Drake and Psychic Frog. Dave Kaplan gets the more expensive card, but arguably Matthew gets the more powerful card. Can someone buy me some Gilded Drakes? I want to play this deck. Oh, God. I don't want to buy it. I'd be all over Esper Vial if I had Gilded Drakes, for sure. Big fan of this deck. I don't know how clear that is, but I really like Esper Vial.
Macabre to Fairy. You know these two. No, to Fairy.
Fairy Macabre and Felia are the known cards in hand. Matthew helping out. The modal double face cards made Belcher very strong in Modern. Yeah. I mean, there's always, like, I guess, a side effect of, like, cool cards having kind of awkward interactions with weird older cards. It's just, like, a thing in larger formats. Like, Goblin Char Belcher. Like, that card is just silly. Fatal Push on Psychic Frog. So it dies, goes to its owner's graveyard. But Gilded Drake and Felia are kind of a neat combo.
Hoping for sort of a better sequencing achievement from sorcery.
I'm going to play around Days here or flash in Felia?
bleeding until we get back.
The goal is get the set.
Get the set.
Okay, Dave's still thinking about attacks. It'll just be Witch Enchanter and Gilded Drake, protecting the Bowmaster and Orc Army. No blocks. Okay. Murktide. Okay, not too bad. It's going to be awkward, though, if Felia blinks this Gilded Drake, though. 7/7 Murktide. Looks like Dave has no cards in hand.
Then we take out all the rares.
And step on the flash and belly.
Before drafting.
Yep.
So congratulations.
JSN says best cards printed recently are the Surveil lands, made most decks more playable. Yeah, the Surveil lands were a great addition to Legacy. I joke about the surveilling a lot on the channel just because it's like takes time or whatever. But the Surveil lands were a great addition to Legacy. I'm a big fan. I hope they keep making lands like the Surveil lands that are Legacy power level. I personally felt like Legacy mana bases is just like, oh, I'm gonna play Jeskai, so 4 Flooded Strand, 4 Scalding Tarn, 2 Tundra, 2 Volcan, whatever, right? I find it very boring. I like mana bases in other formats better where you're actually like, do I want Dark Slick Shores? Do I want Drowned Catacomb? Whatever. I think that's much more interesting. So, yeah. Recruiter of the Guard now. Gilded Drake. In exile, it'll come back. Solitude is found. Gilded Drake comes back. And we'll switch sides of the Murktide and the Gilded Drake. So, Gilded Drake doing its thing. That Murktide's going to be hard for Kaplan to beat with no cards in hand. AP, thank you for the resub, 38 months. I think Sarah Dibberfreet is much more interesting. A big take coming in.
Yeah. The life gain on the ground.
AP's been with us for a long time. Important member of our community for sure.
That is.
In my head, I'm like, oh, it's the point where he just has Big Eldrazi, and then that's lots of Yeah.
One card? Yeah.
One card in Dave Kaplan's hand. Couldn't attack there with Murktide on defense. Esper Vial doing its thing. Felia. Another Felia. Dave's going to read it again. The Felia Gilded Drake machine. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Pass 2. Yep.
Okay, Fatal Push on Felia. It dies.
I mean, yeah, but you want it fair and square.
I think what he's saying is, I think he likes the idea of Cyber.
Nethergoyf. Okay. I mean, given the current life totals, it's a little risky for Matthew to attack, I guess. But as time goes on, especially if Matthew can make a 5th land drop, this Solitude is going to be interesting. Also, if Recruiter can be blinked. Oh, well, another Recruiter gets played, and that's probably really bad news for Dave. Flicker Wisp is found.
Honestly,
I'll pass 2.
so hopeful for the card drafting. Have the board go live. If I saw that overrun, I would tell myself that there was a way to redo.
Looks like Nethergoyf has 3 power right now. Has to figure out a way to get rid of this Gilded Drake. I mean, should Gilded Drake just be attacking so that it has to die? I don't know. Well, looks like we're swinging with everybody.
This has to be fun.
Maybe Dave should just been. Should Dave just have been attacking the past few turns with Gilded Drake, forcing Matthew to kill it? I don't know. This game is hard.
Block here, the Nethergoyf, and the Gilded Drake.
Okay, Gilded Drake is getting blocked by Murktide. The 2 recruiters will block and trade with the Orc Army and chump block Nethergoyf. Matthew takes 2, goes to 6. Heavy Metal says was just watching previous 90s MTG on YouTube and thought, wait, it's Wednesday, should just go watch the live stream. Good job. We are live. This is the real show. Thank you for being here. So a Boggart, Bog, and then Flicker Wisp. Gonna flicker the Witch Enchanter. Comes back under its owner's control. Nothing for it to target, but takes an attacker away from Kaplan. Maybe thinking about sending in Murktide. Holding Solitude, Unknown card, and Ferromacabre. Yep. Murktide coming in. It could tell us that the other card in hand is white.
Testy.
Draw.
Needs to kill this Murktide.
They'll stay in exile. That's cool. That's on me. I missed it.
Okay, players are in agreement that Witch Enchanter coming back was missed. This is a top 4 match from the recent Gamestoria 1K. So this is competitive REL, and the winner will move on to the finals. There are 3 dual lands on the line here, so the Witch Enchanter coming back being missed was held up. Solitude pitching Lavinia. Azorius Renegade. Nethergoyf will be exiled. Gains Kaplan some life. Some valuable life points, really. Flickerless offering a trade with Bowmaster. That will happen. Another Nethergoyf. Okay. Passing the turn after that.
You need something that's not going to work before you need to be like powerful enough. You need to care. No more core 19.
Move to combat.
My first one was
10 for 7.
so impactful.
Attacking for 7. Getting attacked by his own Murktide here. Dropping to 5. Bit savage. Attack your opponent with their own 7/7 Murktide that they work so hard to get on the table. Ferromacabre remains in hand. Could protect Matthew against a top deck Reanimate. Crack included Delta Opposition Agent getting flashed in? Oh boy. Ouch. The last unknown card in hand was Opposition Agent.
And I believe I get to look at your hand because I'm controlling your actions.
The last card in hand for Dave was Daze.
So,
That wasn't Bajuka Bog, it was Boggart Bog, so it's Boggart Trawler on the other side, which has the Bajuka Bog ability. It's a modal double face card from Modern Horizons 3. Point being, it didn't do anything to any graveyard at this point. That is the match. Matthew got it. Moved on to the finals. The finals match is up on our YouTube channel for you to go watch. GG's.